Okay, so now continuing on with translating some words into symbols, we're now going to be translating words into more expressions, and we're going to be using word problems to do this. So here are just some important formulas to know, and formulas just describe to us some true relationships. So like this first one, we know that the area of a rectangle is going to be equal to the length of the rectangle times the width of the rectangle. Okay, so we have area of a rectangle is length times width. The perimeter of that rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Our distance traveled is the same thing, that's equal to the rate that we're traveling at times the amount of time that we traveled for. And finally, the costs, a total cost, is going to be the number of items we buy times the price of one of those items. Okay, and that's just assuming that all of the items are the same. So say a cookie's $1, I buy 6 cookies, 6 times 1 tells me that the total cost was $6. All right, so let's do a couple of examples here. So at some certain store, we have shirts cost $20 and hats cost $15. How much does S shirts and H hats cost? So let's just start off. We know that shirts are going to cost, and again, its cost is equal to the number that we buy times the price. So for shirts, and I'll do shirts in red, and I'll just do hats in blue. Okay, so for shirts, we will get a cost that is equal to, well, we're buying S shirts, so S times, and the price is 20. So we get S times 20. I'm just going to write that as 20S. And then for hats, right, my cost for hats is going to be, well, I'm buying H hats, so H times, and then the price is $15. So that cost is going to be 15H for hats. So then my total cost is just going to be those two added together. If I'm buying S shirts and H hats, well, I need to add them together. So the total cost is 20S plus 15H. And that would be my final answer. All right, and our second example, we have a rectangle with width W. And then we know that the length is 7 more than the width. So what's the area of the rectangle and what is the perimeter of the rectangle? Well, let's start just by writing down those formulas again. I know that the area is equal to length times width, and I know perimeter is equal to 2 times the length plus 2 times the width of that rectangle. So again, we're told that the width is equal to W, so my width is equal to W, and then we're told the length is 7 more than the width. Okay, well, if my width is W, well then what's 7 more than W? It's going to be 7 plus W. So my length is 7 plus whatever my width is, which I said my width is W. All right, fantastic. So now what is the area of that rectangle? That area is going to be equal to 7 plus W times W. Okay, and I put the 7 plus W in parentheses because that is what my length is equal to. My length is equal to 7 plus W, so I need to substitute in this whole 7 plus W in parentheses. Otherwise, if I wrote it as just 7 plus W times W, well, then I'm only multiplying W times W. It needs to multiply by the whole length, which the whole length is 7 plus W. All right, and finishing it out now with the perimeter. My perimeter is going to be equal to 2 times, well, again, my length is 7 plus W, so I will substitute that in, plus